Excuse me. What is this?
I believe it's a Merlot, sir.
Merlot. No. I don't think so. You see, well, it's all about the quality of the grape, the aroma it creates, and how it's made. You can't just, put it in a bottle and expect us all to drink it, right? If it was a Merlot, I would expect, rose, violet, currants, plum, black cherry. There's no complexity to it. There's no balance. It's and I won't have an emotional response to it. Do you know what I mean?
Victor Adrian?
You better shake it up.
Marilyn Farragut of the CDC.
Peace off. Okay, morning.
Hey, I was watching that. What do I get out of it?
Excuse me?
Quid pro quo. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. You understand each other?
What is it you want?
First, you gotta call off the guards, 'cause I've been taking a shit without a chaperone for the last 6 days. Second, I want to be first in line out of this hellhole when the cavalry arrive.
Clear about the marketing. Patients had to stick to the schedule.
1 pill a day, rise and sunshine.
That's right. Follow the label, you won't get addicted.
We'll introduce evidence to the contrary.
Well, sure, there are exceptions, just like with any drug. But our warnings were big and clear. There was no small print. We were transparent.
Crush it and snort it. You were creating addicts. Do you realize that now?
Look, that makes no sense at all. We told people not to abuse the drug.
So you knew it could be abused.
Any drug could be abused.
Did you think it was likely to be abused?
No. Hell no, we'd no idea there were going to be addiction issues.
You're still...
Now, Kathleen is a believer, and so am I. That means when we're together, well, time flies.
When do you plan to leave Mascouche?
I was due to leave Mascouche today, but Kathleen asked me to stay a little longer in Mascouche. I want to visit what you people call the crime scene. That way I can validate that this is what we think it is, a UFO abduction.
And folks, here's a fact I want you all to remember today. The vast majority of abductions end just fine. But why was Benoit so fascinated by this phenomenon? Well, that's because his very own wife, Kathleen, was kidnapped by extraterrestrial visitors on January 24th, 2001.
Paraît qu'elle a même fourré avec des extraterrestres.
Now, in the next few days, Benoit's body will be released from the morgue. But we intend to examine the remains to establish whether or not it is his body or that of a cloned duplicate.
Why this side of the room?
Have you found a scientific explanation for it? Like, is it for them?
No, we think it's for us. The air doesn't seem to circulate inside the chamber, so after about 2 hours, we run out of oxygen.
And 15, you got any new intel?
Yeah, we've been playing back some of their sounds.
Where does that get you?
Well, they play audio back at us from an unseen source.
Audio of what?
It's bits of conversation from the room, random clips of dialogue. Really, we have nothing.
So how'd you know about the grapefruit? The stab wounds?
When I found out about Carol, I called the police in Riverside and they put me in contact with the coroner and he sent me this letter with all the details of how she died.
The Riverside coroner's office sent you a letter. Where is it?
It's in the top drawer by the kitchen sink.
Made quite a meal out of that, didn't you?
Yes, it needed to look convincing. Look, you asked for 12 million, I gave you 12 million.
This never happened. Understood?
Of course.
So diplomats from all around the world are arriving here today at the Hotel Royal. It's an historic day as the official ending of United States military involvement in Vietnam. Yesterday, the Paris Peace Summit was rocked by the appearance of unidentified assailants, the likes of which the world has never seen. Mass hysteria has gripped the nation as people ask, where did they come from? Will they be back? And most importantly, are they friend or foe?
That wasn't time.
And now it's time for Famous Britons.
the show in which Jack Worthing, that's me, interviews some of our most celebrated countrymen. Today, we have in our studio His Majesty King George III. Your Majesty, how are you feeling today? Mad, really? Well, is it us who's mad, or is it the entire world? Oh, no, Jack, no, it's me. Absolutely me. Do you know, in fact, it's come to my attention, some of my subjects affectionately refer to me as Mad King George. Still, you accomplished quite a bit in your reign, didn't you? Yes, I have, Jack, and I'm glad to talk about some of the more serious things of my reign. I grew smashing carrots. Really did. In fact, I was known as Farmer George. But those damned rabbits, Jack, always eating my carrots. You beat the French. And you know, in those days, they weren't even always orange. No. They were mostly sort of red and white and sometimes beige. The French? No, Jack. The carrots! Do try to keep up, man. But the French, yes, we did beat them twice. Soundly. And, you're famous for giving the Americans their liberty, eh? Oh, Jack. Those pesky Americans. Any idiot can grow vegetables in the New World. You just chop down a tree and there's your farm. I mean, try doing that in a plot of land that's been farmed for 2,000 years. Ha! Good luck to you, man. But Jack, the damned rabbits were always eating my lettuce. Well, you do sound a little upset. But I'm mad. I'm absolutely mad. Mad King George, barking. Have you tried joy? Joy? What's that? Well, it's this marvelous pill that makes you forget everything and think of all the wonderful things in life. Well, I wish I'd had some of that. I might not have gone quite so mad. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. His Majesty King George III. If only he'd had joy, he might not have gone mad at all. Ask your doctor if joy is right for you. Of course it's right for you. Next week, on Famous Britons, I'll be interviewing King Arthur. Do you know he's planning a comeback? Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in later for more Uncle Jack.